AJA Video Systems, proud supporter of Just Seen It, offers a wide range of professional acquisition and post-production solutions. Learn more at aja.com/PTV. Johannes Vermeer was a brilliant painter in the 1600s.
This fall off of light is something that an artist really cannot see.
Inventor Tim Jenison becomes obsessed with the artist because of his photorealistic paintings. So he sets out to duplicate Vermeer's techniques.
There must be a way to actually get the colors accurate with mechanical means.
You become a machine.
In Tim's Vermeer.
Hi, I'm David.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Sean. Next up is Tim's Vermeer, the documentary by Teller of Penn and Teller fame. We've all just seen it. David, tell me about this movie.
Okay, Sean, stepped right into that one, didn't I? So the premise of this documentary is fascinating, and that is this guy named Tim, who's an inventor, he's not a painter, has this premise that Vermeer, who was one of the most brilliant painters of the 17th century and created photorealistic paintings, did so through technology. They had this thing called a camera obscura, which was a device that took its surroundings and projected it onto a space. And he believes that Vermeer took that projection onto a mirror, held the mirror over his canvas, and painted on the canvas. So he was literally painting like it was a photograph. And what's the crazy thing is that he decides to go about proving his theory.
I think there's enough evidence in this documentary that most people are going to believe that this is actually the way Vermeer painted it, but this is a very controversial theory, actually, for some Vermeer scholars who want to believe that his genius was so great that he could just go up to the canvas and paint this and there were no problems whatsoever. And I guess the fact that he could have used this apparatus or this device somehow lowers his genius somewhat, which I actually think is a bit absurd considering how...
Right. Well, that's the thesis of the film.
Exactly.
The film says that you shouldn't separate technology and art. They can work together, and someone's not less of an artist because they're relying on technology. That's all the movie's about. It's literally this one thesis, and it's focusing on Tim and him creating this Vermeer replication. But the movie is slightly over an hour. It could be 20 minutes long, and it could tell the same story, and it's just thin.
Well, wait a minute. It goes through a process.
No, I disagree with you, yeah.
Well, you can speed up that. It's a process film, so you don't have a duration that you have to hit.
But you see his mental degradation in this film as he reaches day 50 and day 75. Yeah,
because he's been doing it for like 8 years.
Right, and he's going crazy from doing it.
It takes him over 1,800 days. If Werner Herzog had made this documentary, it would have lasted 1,800 days.
It would have been in 3D.
It would have been in 3D and lasted that long. So I like the fact that it was short. I think it's the right length.
Me too.
It may wane for some viewers who are, but if they're not interested in this process or art, they're going to be bored no matter what.
It's a fine film, not trying to overly criticize it. But the point is that it gets to its thesis pretty quickly, and there's nothing more to it. It's one character's journey, learning that technology and art should not be separate, and learning that the technology that he's developing could potentially be something that Vermeer used.
In Vermeer's camera, this would be a projection. A lens is projecting this image. But to show the actual mirror painting process, we're using a photograph here. You can see that there's a reflection, and then there's my canvas down here. And right at the edge of the mirror, I can see both things.
It did for me what a documentary is supposed to do for me, and that is expose me to a world I have no idea about. And then what's really cool is that Tim didn't take any shortcuts. Throughout the movie, he kept saying, oh my God, there's this carpet in the scene, and in my mirror when I'm painting, I can see every single fiber in that carpet. I'm going to have to spend the next 2 months painting that. And as a result of that, you see his mental degradation as it's day 75.
He's not long-suffering. He's making a difficult painting. It's
right,
not
but he
like
realized
tumultuous or anything like that.
But he realizes the folly of his adventure, that he's in over his head, but he has to do it right. He can't cut corners, which is what a real scientist would do.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy cow.
And the results, without giving away the end of the documentary, the results are really interesting because they have David Hockney, the famous artist, that comes in. He's at the beginning of the movie as a champion of them, and then at the end of the movie looking at what Tim did and critiquing it.
It's not a really beautiful film. Not that documentaries have to be beautiful, not that cinematography has to be beautiful, but in terms of capturing the image, there just seems to be no artistry. It just seems to be run and gun, whatever the camera is that they have.
Well, it's Teller's first film. If you're taking an 1,800-day project and you're boiling it down into an hour and 20-minute movie, I think that's a challenge for anybody, especially a first-time filmmaker. So I don't know how much artistry you can give when you know that you have to commit to something that's going to be this long a process.
And I don't know if they knew it was going to even be that long of a process.
And the fact that they're both Teller's showing a lot of patience as well as Tim Jenison is painting it, which I think there's something to be said about that.
It's just a cool story with great characters, and it's not really a film in my eyes. It's just interesting. The film is entertaining, but not necessarily deserving of its feature length. So I'm going to say, stream it.
Tim's Vermeer documents procedure, passion, and discovery, and it makes us all feel a little bit smarter. See it.
I found Tim's journey in painting his Vermeer fascinating. I give this a see it.
Well, it looks like our votes add up to 2.5 tickets, which is a see it for Tim's Vermeer.
Cheers.
Cheers to Vermeer.
You should see me in the sequel, Sean's Da Vinci.
He's Dutch, I checked.
That's why all of his paintings were like this.